Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. So we have a driving iron for you today. We're going to review, test, give you our thoughts on the brand new Callaway X-Forged UT.
One of the ones I was most looking forward to, having played the previous model for quite a while now. I played it kind of, technically sort of in its twilight years, really, towards the end of its cycle. Kind of anxiously awaiting this one. It is certainly cosmetically, I think it looks better. I like the finish on it better. I like this kind of satin finish.
Yeah.
And at address, I think my first impression was they've really improved the offset profile of it. It looks much more neutral now.
Yeah, I would call this a player's driving iron.
Would be. It would not be comfort or confidence inspiring at address for someone that's concerned about the strike, because it's blade-like. Obviously, it has quite a bit of meat at the back, but it's very straight in the offset.
As far as long irons go, it would be one of the smaller profiles, certainly. More like a Titleist U500, a TaylorMade P790 UDI, even the brand new Strixon, the ZX Utility.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Similar, absolutely. It's probably one of few companies that sort of has exclusively a player's one. TaylorMade has a player's driving iron, but they have the Sim and the Sim DHY.
Yeah, DHY as well.
It's interesting that Callaway has chosen to just go with the one model. I'm not sure why. Maybe they prefer to get people into hybrids after that, but this is kind of the standalone one. And at address, I think it is definitely going to lean towards the low handicaps that will gravitate towards it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd be curious to hear from one of the manufacturers with regards to the units purchased sort of idea, like how many of the U500 versus the U510 is sold. And same with Sim, UDI and DHY.
The only reason I'm saying it is I would kind of like them to have the bigger model, because I've played with several people that have both in the bag.
So I fit a good friend of mine to that exact combo last year. So he was U500 in his 2-iron, and I think he was U510. I think it was a 3 or 4-iron. So different flight profiles.
Totally different.
One was an off the tee club. One was an in the air club. Was fantastic. This one is loaded with technology. Absolutely loaded. All this sort of Callaway modern tech, flash face in there, cup face technology. It has a really, really soft body, so very bendable. Something I love in any iron that is going to get in someone's bag. I really like that it's bendable.
Definitely.
So it's kind of got everything in there that you're even seeing in the woods, to be honest.
Which is pretty interesting. I'm hoping that the profile being this slim and the nice thin offset is kind of on the back end. All that tech is in there, making it play a lot more forgiving than it looks. Because then it would really be quite a sleeper. Because people ultimately want something to look nice and clean like this. I don't want to tow it and lose 25 yards though. So we'll see. Maybe it's a little more forgiving than it looks.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to hit a few shots. We're going to hit a couple, and then we're going to take it to a hole. So we'll start off on this tee box, and then we'll actually play the hole out. Off the tee, and then we'll hit a shot into the green with it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
It's not a bad one to start. Wouldn't be upset with it. Wasn't struck the best.
Okay.
Fairly forgiving though. Kind of felt like I towed it, not surprisingly.
That's got to be pretty close to the one there.
That one felt pretty good.
A couple of bounces onto the little upslope.
That's the spot, yeah.
Beautiful.
I think you were very close. So I hit it a groove low. That's the only reason I think the launch was 8 instead of 9.
Yep.
But otherwise you were dead on.
Right. So 7.9, 2900, good 153. Very efficient.
Lots of speed coming out of this thing.
Tons of speed out of that.
It feels lively on the face, but it feels a bit more dull than the previous model. So the previous model had a bit more kind of techie, jumpy face. This, I think in a good way, is a bit more traditional feeling.
Yeah.
I feel the speed, but it feels a little bit more like an iron.
Those are coming out about 70 feet.
That's nice, very flat.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, you can knock that flight, maybe down, on a couple, just see how.
Sure.
Because you're playing a pretty neutral ball flight there.
I was playing it, in my standard ball position, just hitting it. I'll maybe knock it back a shade here. See if we can knock one a bit lower.
That's nice.
That's a nice one.
That's a lovely flight.
I think that should come out a little lower. A bit more heat.
So you just knocked the flight down through the launch, 58. Love that.
That was hit well.
Turned a fraction more. Sounded like a really nice strike.
I think that was the best strike I've had so far. Stay in the fairway, you. Okay. There. That's the best one.
That's a beauty.
Much more middled. Oh, it was very hot out of the middle of the face. I mean, I was getting away with the first few strikes. They were fine. But it is way, way faster when you kind of smoke one. Pretty good too, just turned it a little. Should stay in though.
And this was a little club, the little driving iron was something you found some good form with at the end of the season. You were really enjoying your old one.
Probably dropped my handicap a point by itself.
Yeah.
So many holes in my home course that you can tee off with this, and it's good into a couple of the longer par fives too. It was probably one of the better additions to my bag as a single club.
So let's do that. Let's as we are there. So let's go 260.
Yeah, perfect.
We're kind of testing the versatility. I think it's built to do what you just done with it, which is hot, low, something that gets you, into the fairway, very accurate.
Definitely. It would be so good in the wind.
Yeah.
Easy to hit flat. You could definitely lower it a bit if you want to. I'm just curious now if you can raise it. You need to raise the flight here.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Do you have the option to take it from that 70 feet apex up to like a 95 foot apex and get it landing on this green? Because that pin's at the front.
Yes.
If we are going to, get it within 25, 30 feet, which would be an unbelievable shot, we're going to have to, cut this up a little bit actually.
Struck, unfortunately, really poorly. Decent attempt though. Wouldn't be upset.
Okay, yep, not a bad leave.
So that's just clanked a bit. Better. I didn't get it fading though. Catch a piece. Catch a piece. Not bad.
Oh, that desert comes in fast.
Does it ever? If that shot had had a little face angle more to the left, I think that would have been really good.
That's the one.
Cut.
That's such a good shot.
Probably about as good as I'll do. Oh, you bounce of the year. That was the shot though. Caught it better. It had more launch and more spin on it.
Get enough legs to
get over there.
Yeah, so over the big part of the bunker there.
Close.
Hit a couple with that. Just be interested if we can show a little point here.
Same loft on it. It's about
same loft.
Inch longer.
Yep, a little longer. Going to shallow you out. CG lower.
Yeah, let's try a couple of this. Let's try to hit the same shot. It's a lower maintenance club into a green. There's no doubt about it.
So one take.
Yeah, it's so much easier.
And you've got the putter in your hand.
Yeah, there's something to be said for that, isn't it?
Yes,
I think
definitely.
Strike control is certainly not my specialty. Mm-hmm. So when a driving iron requires a good strike, it's tough. It can be very demanding on your game, whereas that is not.
112 feet coming in at 43 degrees. Flew the same distance.
Yeah, just more spin on it.
Just had a little bit more spin, a little more stopping power. So what we're seeing is just the versatility of the two clubs. The driving iron, great off the tee for you, great option, great in the wind.
Yes.
If that's where you play, flighting it down. If you do have a kind of harder time flighting it up,
yes,
maybe have a think about that.
Definitely. I think this is a short list for players driving iron with a lot of spin and launch reduction. Mm-hmm. If that doesn't sound like you, then just look elsewhere. And that's good. It's good to have this in the drawer as that option.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be, no driving iron is good for everyone. The Srixon one's fantastic, but it's probably not the lowest spin one we've tried. Mm-hmm. And the UDI is very similar to this, very low spin.
Yeah.
So it's going to be another fitting tool. I like it for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have to tinker around with it to see if I can start getting some launch on it, or whether that part of the bag needs a bit of a look.
Yeah, okay. Guys, options, I think that's what this is. It's maybe a 15th club. It's maybe something that you guys have as an option on a certain day if the wind picks up at certain times of the year and you need to be able to play with your trajectory. Maybe that's not your strong point in your own game, is taking your hybrid, knocking it down. Hybrid might be in the bag for 3/4 or 2/3 of the year, and then 1/3 you go to the iron, or vice versa. But I think it is good to have options. 14 clubs, have them set. You know, there's good and bad to that. It doesn't give you the most versatility. So this could be kind of like having a, you know, maybe like a 64-degree wedge or a high lofted club or something like that. It's just another option at certain times.
Absolutely, yeah. This would be a great one to take on a little Scotland trip.
Absolutely.
Sure, you could hit some absolute flat little bullets with this.
You're going to love that flight. Those ones you were hitting off the tee, you're just going to love hitting that all day, because you were getting maybe 15 yards a run, maybe 20 if you hit a lower one. Scotland, you get 40 yards, 45 yards a run out that.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching. We will see you again soon.